I swear to God, that level fucking drove me crazy. Like if I came out in the news that I killed my parents, it was because of that fucking level. Last time, as we remember, we were talking about we used the opportunity that Jose wasn't here. He was dying over there in San Antonio from food
Yep.
poisoning, or I don't remember why.
Yeah.
We talk about anime, and now we're like, so Jose's not gonna be on this one. Let's talk about video games.
Yep.
Because I know if we did this topic, the only game he will probably mention it's one of the WWE games.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I know there's one game that he would mention, but I don't want to mention it because it's in my honorable mentions.
Oh
And
shit!
but I know he used to play a lot of
From
the Sega
from
games.
PlayStation or 64.
Mm,
I know one.
it was
I know one
PlayStation.
for sure he would mention
PlayStation.
because we've
Okay.
mentioned it before. He
Yeah,
would
I know he
mention
played
Mortal
like the
Kombat.
Sega games because he had the collection. Yeah,
Oh, that's true. Because I mean, we actually played in school.
and yeah, and he
Um,
and I remember he had the Sega collection, and we played
and you
it
know
in
what?
school also.
Because we were thinking. I mean, we talk about how we will come out with this ranking of like the five best video games from our childhood, and I was thinking about Mortal Kombat, but I was like, I don't know if I can add it in the sense that I don't exactly remember which version of Mortal Kombat I love. I just remember I love the series. Like I don't
Yeah.
have like special love for a certain from I don't know
Mm.
PlayStation One or like the I don't
Yeah.
know when it started. I mean I know it started in arcades, right? Or no? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
arcade.
Hmm.
And it was when like I think the first game only had like 8 characters. So
Yeah.
it only had, like Liu Kang, Sonya, Raiden, Scorpion. I think it had Sub Zero also, and
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Hmm.
I know I'm missing one more, and then the secret character was Reptile,
Hmm.
I
and
think it was
then the
Kano.
second one, Kano. There you go. Yes, that was the other character. And then yeah, and Reptile was like a secret hidden character that you only got if you did like this certain set. Like I think you had to get like a fatality on like a certain level, and then after you
Okay.
beat Shao Kahn, you would Reptile would show up and like kill him or beat him up, and then you had to fight Reptile. But he
Right.
was like stupid difficult. Yeah, and that's just one of those crazy stories you hear about, like like at school from your friend that like, no, you got to do a fatality on this certain level, and then this like green ninja comes out, and you're like, yeah, right, shut the fuck up, like, and then you play it, and you're like, oh shit, he wasn't lying, like,
I mean that happened to me with the fucking level of Street Fighter where you have to like beat the shit out of a car. Someone
yeah,
told me about it, and I didn't have the game. I just played when I went with my cousins or whatever, so I never saw that
yeah.
level. And then when I finally got the game, and I was like, "Oh, holy shit!" Like I thought everyone was crazy. Like, why you mean beat up a car? Like, what the fuck? No, it's actually true.
It froze on mine.
Yeah, it froze
Oh,
on my
really?
end too.
Fuck.
Okay, it froze for the both.
Then let me say it again. Can you guys hear me?
Okay,
Yes.
it
So like
fucking
that
froze
thing
again.
happened to me. Hello, hello, for real?
Dude, it keeps
I
on
can
freezing.
hear
Yes.
you.
You're not.
If you guys can hear me, then I'm
He's
just gonna
still.
say
You're
it.
not moving.
Like
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
you can hear me. Okay, then
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, let me say it. So that happened to me with the game Street Fighter because I remember I didn't have the game, and I remember someone telling me like, "Hey, there's a level where you just like punch a fucking car, like, and you destroy it." And I'm like, that sounds like what do you mean? This is a fighting game. Like, why would you punch a car? And then when I actually got the game, I was like, oh shit, they were telling the truth.
It's like they told me like you fight a Honda. I thought they meant Honda, the character. No,
Yeah,
they
I
meant
already
an
fought that
actual Honda
motherfucker. Like,
car.
it was the second character that I fought. Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it was over here in the US. Because over there in Mexico, we have the maquinitas. That was the arcades.
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
thing with the maquinitas is that they were in every fucking corner store. Like you will go to the
Yeah.
corner store and you will have maquinitas, and there will be different ones. You have Metal Slug, you have Killer Instinct, you have Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Um, so it was really easy to just go to the fucking store. Your mom will tell you, "Hey, go buy a Coke." Okay, let me go, and then you will spend like she will give you like five pesos, and then you will spend like 3 or 4 pesos in just maquinitas, and then she will get mad like, "Hey, where's my change, motherfucker?"
Mm.
But that was the thing over there. And so it was really easy to just go around the corner and go and waste your money and play a lot of these games. For me, I have to add in my top five. I have to add Killer Instinct, which was I don't know. It was so special because it was one of those machines that you didn't really find everywhere. So it was really like you have to go to a place. I remember I went to a Pizza Hut and they have Killer Instinct, and that was my shit.
Mhm.
Like every time I go to
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, I will play Killer Instinct. And then another one that I will add, it would be Kino Fighters. Just in general, I love Kino Fighters over there in Mexico is the shit. Like everyone was playing Kino
Yeah.
Fighters. Um, and it's one of those games that it doesn't matter the 98, 99, and then the 2001, and then it didn't matter the version. Like you will be a fucking like you will have to get good at it because you knew everyone was playing it.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Neo Geo was a lot more popular in Mexico than it was like here in the United
And that's the
States.
thing. I think
So
the
yeah,
like the
so stuff like
licensing, it was really easy to get it over there in Mexico for some reason.
mhm. I think another thing is like those machines were also easier to hack, so you could like modify it and put other games in it in one
True.
cabinet. And and the thing that was cool is like, pues yeah, like King of Fighters like was really huge in Mexico, and then yeah, they would have like King of Fighters, and they would put like a little paper sign on the top that would say "No se permite jugar Rugal," because the
Hmm.
character was broken and he was
Yeah, yeah.
so overpowered that they had to tell you you can't pick him. As far as like arcade machines go, it I wouldn't say it was like as big in like Mexico as it was like here, because you mentioned that like in every corner store there was, and no,
Yeah.
yeah, like you weren't kidding about that. And here in the United States, it was more common to see maybe like a pinball machine at like
Yeah.
certain stores, but as opposed to like actual like video game like arcade cabinets,
Mm.
you usually only saw those at like the mall or at like pizza restaurants like Pizza
Oh
Hut,
Yeah.
yeah.
and stuff like that. So I do think it was a lot more common to see them in
And
Mexico
and
than it was in
just
the
just like for
States.
our young viewers, yeah, they used to have arcades in Pizza Hut. Like that was the thing.
Yes. Hmm.
The funny part about
Yeah.
the arcade and Pizza Hut where it was at was that it was on the smoking side of the restaurant. Because before it used to be divided
Oh
into
yeah.
smoking and non-smoking.
Hmm.
So like I would play Pac-Man at
Yep.
Pizza Hut and like I was freaking getting like secondhand smoke and shit.
Like I like picturing that like there's a guy like smoking while playing like Galaga or something. Just takes a puff and he's just like
And it's funny because like you used
um,
to like play these games with like grown ass motherfuckers like smoking, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
beat this motherfucker. Because even like old people,
right.
like every people that are beyond 30, they will play those games. So you will have like a little kid playing against
Yeah.
an old man.
Yeah. Like as far as here, like yeah, our Pizza Hut had an arcade, but our mall also had an arcade. So I think that's where like most of my arcade memories are. It's while my mom was shopping at the mall, me and my brother, like, she'd be like, here's $1 for each of you, like, go crazy or whatever. And we had to make that dollar last my mom's
Yeah.
entire, like, shopping trip, because otherwise we would have to follow her in the stores and stuff like that. And as soon as she bumped into a friend of hers, we knew we were screwed.
Yeah.
Because this 1 hour shopping trip just turned into three. um, and as far as like specific games that like we would play, the big one that me and my brother would play like all the time, and I don't know if it's in any of y'all's top five. But it was the Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, because that one was 4 players, and so me and my brother would play it like together, and that was one that we would always play until they got rid of it from the arcade, and they replaced it with like Tekken, I think.
That was gonna be super close to my top five. That would be in my top 10 most definitely. But
Okay, yeah.
um, like number five, I would say arcade games would be The Simpsons. I loved playing that one. I would
Yes.
play with my
Oh, that was a
sisters.
good
I
one.
played
Yeah.
with some random people. That was fucking badass.
Yeah. I think for me, the arcade one would be a separate list. I stuck to consoles mostly. But yes.
Yeah.
Um, like I know another game that I would play all the time at the arcade. I don't remember the name, but I remember it was like one person's like driving, and then the other person's like shooting like a gun, and you're like in a car or something like that. I think it was called like Lucky
Oh,
and
shit.
Wild or something like that. Like you'd probably have to Google it or look up gameplay of it on
Yeah.
YouTube. But yeah, it was an arcade cabinet and it was in the shape of like a car. And yeah, one person has the steering wheel on like a gun, and then the second player in the passenger seat just has the gun. So yeah, you drive and shoot, and yeah, it's like you're like cops or something, and you're like
Oh, okay,
shooting
okay.
down like these like comic book looking like villains and stuff. I remember it was really cool. They don't make arcade games like that anymore.
Yeah, I
No.
know. I mean,
I
I
always liked
went. I
those
went
kind of arcade
like a
games.
few weeks ago.
Hmm.
I went a few weeks ago to like a main event, and
Hmm.
no, it's like you rarely find those of games there. It's more of actually
Hmm.
the only one that I found, and I was like, oh, this is the shit. They had a Mario Kart. But
Oh,
in
nice.
regards to the old type of games, no.
The
No, I
you
liked
getcha.
Time
Yeah,
Crisis,
no, I think
Turok, Jurassic Park.
there you go. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like if you
Yeah,
want to play some of those like more classic games, you would have to go to like an actual arcade. I don't think like a main event or like a Dave and
yeah,
Buster's like
no.
counts anymore because they get more
Hmm.
modern stuff. And I get it; it's because they want to appeal to like kids, you know. But yeah, I feel like for all those old school games, you would have to go to like a legitimate arcade. I know there's one in Austin called Pinballs, and that place is awesome. That place is fun. And yeah, they mostly have pinball machines, hence the name. But no, they have like like the old school X Men arcade game and stuff like that. I think they even have like an old school like DDR machine and stuff. But
Oh shit, nice.
yeah, yeah, cool shit. So I don't know if
So
you guys want to jump into the top five now, or do we keep
yeah,
going
yeah.
with the
So I just want
arcades?
to
Or
start like talking about arcades because I mentioned before, like I'm definitely adding those two, Killer Instinct and Kino Fighters
Mhm.
to my list, five and four like that. And now we can get
Yeah,
into the everything that's related to consoles. So for me, on spot number three, it will be I just mentioned it, Mario Kart 64.
no, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. That's a good pick.
Yeah, it was one of those games that
Hmm.
I will play like for hours with my friends.
Yeah.
It's just one of those games that make you play with your friends. Like it's really difficult to just play by yourself. Like you want to play with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the only question
like
I
that.
have about that, when you played Rainbow Road, did you try doing the jump?
Yes. And
All
I
time.
failed.
Multiple
Yeah.
times.
I don't think. Yeah. I honestly think I don't like as a kid. I don't think I ever got it. Like I never nailed it. I would
Me
always
neither. I
miss.
don't
I think
remember.
I got it like 2 times out of like the 100 times I tried it. Like, my sisters would race me in fucking Rainbow Road. They wouldn't do the shortcut, and they would kick my ass.
Okay, so what was your player?
And you would have.
Yoshi.
Who you pick? Yeah, Yoshi was mine also.
Yeah, mine too. Yoshi.
Oh, dang. Okay, so we got the Yoshi squad right here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yoshi was the best.
It wasn't until I was It wasn't until I was a lot older that I found out that apparently Toad is the best character in that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's supposed to be faster.
don't know details, but yeah, I think he's like the fastest one or something like that. But yeah, so good to know. So yeah, so if you're gonna play somebody again at it for old time's sake, pick Toad.
Yeah.
No, and it's weird because like,
And also
that Mario Kart 64, I would use Yoshi, but for the other ones, like the newer ones, I always end up using like Mario or like Luigi. I never started using Yoshi again.
No, I kept Yoshi. I still pick him today.
Yeah, me too. No, and the thing that I love about that game also was that if you had a friend that didn't really play games, that was just like an easy game for them. Or even your parents.
Yeah,
Like I remember
it's
playing it with
easy
my
to pick up and
parents.
play.
Like they would just play it because it's really easy, really simple,
Yeah.
and you still have
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
So yeah, the 64, the 64, that was my console. Like that's the one that I enjoy the most during my childhood. Because for the DS-ness, my brother, he was the one that bought it, and yeah, we'll play some games, Mario, whatever. But the 64, that was mine. So I got the games that I wanted for it, and that was my console. So I remember getting Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's gonna go on my number three. I fucking love that game. The story, the characters, the way you play it, the world, the setting, just fucking chef kiss. And yeah, it was scary. Like that game's scary. And if I had played Majora's Mask when I was the age when I played Ocarina of Time, I'll be like fucking traumatized because that one's way more scarier. But
Yeah.
just the setting, and then once you go in the tree, and then you play
Yeah.
you fucking fighting the spiders or whatever. That shit's scary. That scared me.
Yeah.
Um,
Goma.
but it was so good that you kept trying and you were like, fuck it, I
Yeah.
need to beat it. I need to do this. And then
Yeah.
back in Mexico, they have the Nintendo magazine. I believe it was
Yeah.
called Nintendo Club.
Here
And
was
they will
Nintendo
like
Power.
Nintendo Power. Okay, yeah, other Nintendo Club, and they will give you some tips or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the thing of me going playing and then going buying the magazine and then check out if there's anything that can help me out or whatever,
Yeah.
and then continue playing. Because kids back in the day, we didn't have the internet. We couldn't go online and just search like, how the fuck do I beat this level? No, sir.
Yeah.
Like either you ask your friends
It
or
froze
you saw it in the
like,
magazine
The image,
or you were fucked.
like back then, there was no like internet to search for your answers. You didn't have anyone. Like you had to go get magazines to like get help or find like some cool like things that you wouldn't normally find yourself.
Okay, so what I was saying is that, and for the viewers, if we have like interruptions and you see like a fucking jump cut, my internet, it's fucking with me. And this time is me, not hater. So yeah, back in the day, like if your friend didn't know how to fucking beat the level, if you couldn't find it on the magazine, you didn't see it on the TV or whatever, you were fucked. And this brings me to my all-time most hated game in history, Superman 64. Fuck
Yes.
that game.
Fuck
Fuck that game.
that game. Yes.
And now, I'm not just saying like, because everyone can be like, oh, you mean like fuck all the game? No, fuck this level in particular, where you have to like, I don't know what were they thinking, like the fucking developers. They were like, hey, we should like, so far we have this, I don't know, 10 levels, and they're pretty like, some of them a little bit complicated or whatever. You know what? Let's make this level like fucking hell for everyone. And back in the day, we didn't have the internet. So how do I fucking beat this level? I don't know. Just play it for like months and just be full of rage with this fucking level where you have to fly through fucking
Like
rings,
fucking rings.
and you have to make it like, because you have time, your time. So
Yeah,
you have to
time
make
limit.
it to the end. And I swear to God, that level fucking drove me crazy. Like if I came out in the news that I killed my parents, it was because of that fucking level. Straight up.
But how else? How else are you supposed to beat Lex Luthor?
Man, Lex Luthor can just do whatever the fuck he wants.
That was the least of my worries, dude. Like I was thinking about ending my life. Like at that point, fuck that, dude.
And like, man, me and my brother, we saved up money, man, to buy it. Like we both pitched in for it. We like recycled cans to just earn enough money to finally buy it. We buy it, we bring it home, and you just fly through fucking rings. And it's like, and if you hit the B button, like Superman like punches, and it's like, so there's a level where you punch shit.
Right.
I never made it that
But you're
far.
not there yet.
Yeah.
All,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the only thing I remember was flying through rings, and you have to like pick up these cars to save because they're gonna like hit somebody.
Yeah.
You fly through rings again, and then you gotta like get like this bomb and fly it somewhere else. That's it. I never got to a part where I actually beat people up or used any of Superman's actual powers, you know, like his freeze breath or his laser vision, none of that shit. And it's like, the other thing I remember is that whenever you fail, Lex Luthor like laughs at you, and they got the actor from the cartoon to voice the Luthor. So every time you fail, you just hear that. Ha, 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 ha. It
Yeah.
lives rent free in my head, and I hate that.
Fucking fuel for fire, dude. Fuel for
Like,
fire,
yeah.
dude.
God damn it! God damn it!
And then
Yeah,
like people are listening and have no idea about this game. It wasn't just about like it was really like you have to be really quick and make it almost perfect.
yeah.
On top of that, the controlling the fucking character was shit.
Oh,
Like
yeah, it's dog
for some
shit.
reason it was just fucked up.
Yeah. God damn it. Man, you're pissing me off again, man. Remind me of that game.
Yeah, fuck that game. Fuck that game.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that game, man.
The next
Yeah,
episode's
no,
gonna
that-
be the 5 games we hate.
Yeah,
That's
right.
number one on both of our lists, flat out. Like,
Right away.
I can't think of another game like that's pissed me off more than that one. I guess it's because of the backstory. Like, man, I remember having to do like so many chores, cutting all these lawns and all this shit to save up money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, man! Like me and my brother, we both pitched in for it. I still remember, man. God fucking damn it! That game had a 2-player mode. Not many people know that. I know that. It had a 2-player mode. What did you do? You were like in these little spaceships and you just shot at each other. But the thing is, like, the maps were so big, where it's like the most you could do is like 2 to 4 players. Why is the zone so big? It should not be that big. So you spend the whole time just trying to find each other. And then by the time you find each other, it's like, oh, pew, pew, pew. Oh, that's it. Oh, I got 1 point. So I gotta do it again? We gotta find each other again? No, fuck this shit, man. Let's play Mario Kart.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was an option for two players. I mean, I didn't remember. Uh,
No,
but
I
now
remember
that I think
because
about it, I played the game with someone else, with the
Mhm.
devil. He was right beside me, laughing at me.
it wasn't Lex Luthor laughing. It was the
Yeah,
devil.
no, it was the devil.
He's right there.
Even
He's like,
even even he
he
was
goes,
like, "Oh, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up game." So for me, number three, Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and I'm gonna add another Zelda on number two, which is that was for the GameCube, the Wind Waker. Why? Because
ooh, okay.
that game, um, when I when I was like excited for a new Zelda game. I mean, everyone that's like a fan of Zelda remembers this, that everyone was disappointed because they wanted another like a dark theme Zelda,
Yeah.
and then they came out with this one cartoonish,
Mhm.
and everyone was like, "Fuck that shit!" Like, Nintendo, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't care. I really like the Zelda,
That's
and so I bought it.
right.
And I was like, I got this new console. Like, I'm gonna play a good game on it. And I was like, I need to play
Mm.
the Zelda. And I remember playing it and being like, dude, this game is awesome. On
Yeah,
top
it's
of
fun.
that, I have good memories of it because my brother is like 11 years older than me. So
Mhm.
we didn't really like play when we were young because there was like a big difference. That game,
Mhm.
he started playing it, and then I play it. So we saved we were playing the same, how do you call it? Like the same file.
Like save
So
file.
we were
Yeah.
trying to beat the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were trying to beat the game
Mhm.
together. And like I will get home and we'll play together. And the most fucked up thing happened when one day I come home and I just see my brother like sitting down with the fucking memory card in his hand, looking all like gloomy. What happened? And then he was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Shit, that's the first time he told me he has said sorry to me. Something bad happened." I don't know how this motherfucker erased the fucking file. I don't know how. Like, I don't even explain myself how. We were like, I don't know, very close to the end. Very, very close to the end. I was mad for weeks. Like, that shit just fucking broke me. And on top of that, he was like, "Nah, let me play it again so I can get it to where we were." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, you're not touching my GameCube anymore. Like, that's it, motherfucker." But then after like a month, we started playing again, and at the end, we beat the game. Uh, but I love that game. I really love that game, and I know that a lot of people didn't like it at the time, but I know that a lot of people like really like the game now because it's a good game. It has good levels, good puzzles. It's good old Zelda with a
Mhm.
new spin.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Mhm. No, yeah,
I
it's a
was
good
on the
game.
other
I liked
side
it.
of
I
that
never
boat.
finished it.
I didn't like the game.
Oh,
Yeah. I was one of those people that was like, fuck this cartoonish crap, I'm not playing it. And I to this day I haven't played it. Like I keep on
damn.
seeing
But
the fucking water and all this shit, and it's like it's a shitload of fucking water, you do nothing in it. But that's just my
bro,
heathen take
it's all
on it.
about the story, dude. It's so fucking good. Um,
Mhm.
and actually, for me, it was the opposite. I was like, "Oh, water! Like you can sail to other places. That's the shit."
Yeah, man. See, this is why we call him hater, and he said that One Piece is his favorite show. It's a show about pirates,
Right?
but he doesn't like a game where you're on a boat.
Yeah, I fucking hate pirates in video games. But I fucking love them in anime.
What I hate. It's basically One Piece in video game.
What a hater! All right.
So,
But
so yeah, for me, number
yeah,
two, Wind Waker. That's I believe that's my favorite GameCube game. Because
Like of all
I
time,
really had a
the
good
whole damn
time.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I love Zelda. Like now that I played what's it called, Breath of the Wild in the Switch, I love that game too.
Yeah.
Zelda games,
Yeah.
those are my shit. Like if there's a Zelda game, I'm gonna play it
Yeah.
because they're always good.
Same.
Yeah.
Number one though, I'm gonna go back to the 64, and this is a game that not a lot of people knew about, but it's one of those games that I know as a kid you will love because of the way and because of the bad words, and it's called Conker's Bad for
Damn
Day.
it! You. That's my number one.
Yeah, yeah. I don't blame you, dude. It's the shit.
Yeah. So that one was my number one. So I gotta switch it.
No, I mean you can leave it. It doesn't matter, dude. But that game, I remember I was in elementary, no middle school, and no middle school. I think I was in elementary, dude. Uh, when a
I
friend
was
of
in
mine got it.
elementary when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So elementary. Um,
Hmm.
a friend of mine got it, and he was like, "Dude, come to my house. We're gonna play this game. Yeah, it's the shit." And I was like, "I've never listened about that game because it wasn't like a really popular game." But then when you start playing it and you start seeing the characters like cussing and like saying bad words, and you're like, as a kid, you're like, "Oh shit, dude, this is so fucking naughty!" Like, but then on top of it, the game's fucking awesome. Like the multiplayer games, they're fucking
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It was like one team would be like the squirrels, the other team would be the teddies.
The teddies. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it was sort of like a Mario Party in the sense that it wasn't only that. Then you have like
Yeah,
the
they
other
have different
levels
ones.
where you
Mhm.
will play as you will be like what was it, like a weasel, or what was it? What animal
Yeah,
that you
you
will
were like
like
bank
steal
robbers.
from a
Yeah.
bank? Yeah,
Yeah. Um, there was also the one where like one player's like are cavemen, and then the other ones are
yeah,
like
hmm,
dinosaurs. And they have, yeah,
yeah.
you would have to the dinosaurs would have to eat the caveman, whereas the caveman were stealing
Hmm.
the eggs, the babies, if you will, from the dinosaurs. Um, but no, yeah, that game was the shit.
It's a
I
shit,
have a
dude.
ton
And
of
as a
It's
little
memories with
good.
that
kid,
one.
like
Yeah,
if you find a game
yeah,
where they're cussing and they're being the shit of each other, like you were laughing throughout the
Yeah.
fucking play.
yeah, hmm yeah. And so yeah, if anyone has an Xbox and you have the retro replay, check out Conker's Bad Fur Day. Great game.
Yeah, hell
I
yeah,
know they remade it, remastered it, but the remaster's not as good. They
Yeah.
no,
took
No.
out all the multiplayer games. It's, believe it or not, the Xbox version is more censored than the original Nintendo version. I don't know how that makes
Yeah.
sense, but it is. So no, yeah, go with the original. And yeah, the original's on the retro replay. So yeah, anyone who's got an Xbox One, got retro replay, play it.
yeah, hell yeah. It's a great game,
Yep.
fucking awesome.
All right, I guess Hater. Let's move on to your top 5 childhood games.
All right. So most of my top 5 are because I would play them with someone. So number 5 was NBA Jam for the Sega Genesis. Like Rene was saying about the N64,
Yeah.
the Genesis was my fucking like console, and
Oh,
I
okay.
freaking like played NBA Jam. I don't know how many hours I put into it, and I completely sucked at the game. But all my friends liked playing it, so I just kept on playing it. And I remember I would always end up fucking getting the Chicago Bulls because fucking Michael Jordan.
Michael
And like
Jordan.
when I was
Yeah.
controlling Michael Jordan, he sucked.
It's like he's a beast on the court, but not when I pick him.
Number 4 would probably be Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Like
That's a
Nice.
great.
I was
fucking
just a
game.
fan of the fucking
Yeah.
music. The music
Yeah,
Hell
in
yeah,
that game
dude.
was
soundtrack.
fucking amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like there's some of those tracks, like I have them on my phone and I still listen to them like now, which is kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
sad to
dude.
say, but like you can't beat that fucking music.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah.
those games always
Uh,
had a great soundtrack. Yeah.
Number three, three, two, and one are in no particular order. But number three, I would have to say Sonic and Knuckles for the Sega,
Okay. Yeah.
because um, I remember playing it, having the cartridge as the Sonic and Knuckles. It had the Sega cartridge, and then like you could put the other cartridge on
Yeah,
top
it
of
had
it.
like a flap that you would pull it down, and you
Yeah.
could stick another cartridge on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I remember my friend saying like, "Oh, for like the original Sonic, you could play as Knuckles in the fucking like in the game." And I tried it and it never fucking worked for me. I don't know if I had a fucking defective
It-
cartridge or something,
If I remember
but
correctly,
it never fucking worked.
I think it was only in 2. I don't think it worked on the first one. But if you put Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on top of the Sonic and Knuckles, you could play 2 but as Knuckles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I remember playing the shit out of that game.
Mhm.
The original one, part 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Like I was
Yeah.
a huge Sonic person. There's a lot of people that are like, "No, Mario's the best." Like, I think Sonic is the fucking best. Like
I
the
don't- I
fucking
don't-
music in the original Sonic fucking slaps.
Yeah.
I don't think those are like bad games at all. Like I don't hate on Sonic. I just never got into Sonic, and here's the reason why. I remember the few times I tried playing it. I mean, first of all, I was used to the way you play Mario games, so I was comparing Mario to Sonic.
Yeah.
But the thing that fucking like broke the deal for me, it was that okay, Sonic is fucking fast, right? That's his thing. Uh, why don't you go fast all the time? Like, why are there parts of the game where you're just fucking walking like a regular dude? Like that pissed me the fuck up. Like, where's the fucking like the rhythm of the game? Like, just go fast. I want this motherfucker to go fast, and then you will like fucking hit something and you will stop. That will piss me off. Like, now fuck this game. So I've never got into the Sonic games.
It's an astute
But yeah,
observation, Rene.
A real quick honorable mention that I just like remembered right now was I don't know if you guys have heard of Eternal Beasts, but like me and my friend would play that one a lot. It was in the Sega, and I think when they ended up doing the Sega like port, the tiny little Genesis that like you could plug in or whatever.
Huh?
I think
The
it's in
Sega
that.
Mini or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
are
it
you
was
thinking
kinda
of
like
Altered Beast?
yeah, Altered Beasts. Yeah, Altered Beasts.
Okay, I know the game you're talking about. Yeah, that one's cool. Yeah, it's like a beat 'em up.
Yeah, I always thought it was like a Castlevania, like what's it called, ripoff. But I liked playing that one.
Yeah, the cool thing with that one was like seeing the transformation when you would go from like the person to like the monster
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, the screen would
To a fucking
flash
werewolf
red.
or whatever?
Yeah, that was always really cool. Yeah, I know the game you're talking about.
Number 2 would have to be, again in no particular order, Devil May Cry. I've loved the fucking franchise since
Awesome
it
games.
started. I remember
Those
when I
are
was a
great,
kid. When I was a kid, I didn't see the original like trailer for Devil May Cry, but I saw the one for, I think it was Devil May Cry 3, and like they made it look very cinematic, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to play
Yeah.
this game." And
It's
I
one of
bought
those
it,
series
and I
that
had to fucking like
you-
go back.
Like I will always be thinking like they should make a fucking anime because it will be fucking badass.
Yeah,
And I believe
Yeah.
they did one and it sucked.
it was not good. Yeah,
Yeah.
It
like,
wasn't
Way
good.
potential.
I take it back.
Hey, but Netflix supposedly is making a Devil May Cry anime again. So like if they end up doing that,
Hey, have y'all seen
Castlevania,
Cyberpunk?
It should be good.
Like anime?
I started
Yes.
watching it. It's good.
That one's good. So if they
Yeah.
do something at least similar to it, like because that one's good. That one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a quick little side tangent. Netflix has been killing it with those fucking animes. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys have seen Castlevania. I'm pretty sure you guys have.
Yes, Castlevania.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there was another one that they ended up doing, like a Netflix original. I think it was called The Great Pretender or some shit like that. Like some con man, like a con
Yeah,
type
okay, okay.
anime, and it's really really good as well. Like most of the anime that I've been watching that are like Netflix originals are really really good.
Yeah.
Um, and number one is Smash Brothers, Melee for the 64. I mean GameCube.
Shit, yeah. I'm
Oh,
shocked that
Yeah.
I completely blanked on that one because that one should have been on my list, especially Melee, because that's the one that
Yeah.
like. I mean, I played the
I
fuck
didn't put it on my
out of
list
the
because I
original on
saw
the 64, right? But I remember Melee like really like hitting it home. That's the one where they really just looked at like what made Smash Brothers cool and how do we make it better.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's one of the
no,
few sequels that are like better than the original.
yeah, yeah, no, I agree.
And I think to this
I
day,
love all the
like they're
all the
still in
series.
competitions with Melee.
I love the series, but I didn't put it in my top because I suck.
And I'm the opposite. Like I actually went, I think, to a couple competitions in like San Antonio, and I was like number 2.
Oh shit!
Like I
Damn,
was,
Oh, shit.
I was good. I was good. I don't think I'm as good anymore because I don't like play it as much as I used to. But
Right.
yeah,
And shit. No, I mean, I was never like great at Smash Brothers, but like, I mean, I was all right at it. I could put up a decent fight, but I think that's just me with fighting games in general. Like, I'm
Yeah.
okay at them, but I'm not like great.
And since I love Zelda, I will always pick Link. But then I will get mad because I will see like people playing with other characters that were clearly better like to use, and I was like, no fuck, like I'm gonna use Link and I'm gonna beat everyone, and then that didn't end up happening. I will get mad. I'll be like, fuck this game.
It's like, what the fuck? Link has the Master Sword that repels darkness.
Yeah.
How the hell does an electric mouse beat me?
Right.
no, it's all about Fox and its fucking gun and the reflector shield.
Yeah, freaking like 1v1 me Fox, Final Destination, no items. There you go. All right, no, that's a solid
yeah,
list.
I liked using Link.
Solid list. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he wasn't like the best character to
Was he your
use
main?
because
Which
once
one?
you were playing against a good player, like nah, you wouldn't choose Link.
But
No,
But like,
yeah.
I mean, there's some people that like use him competitively, and like, there's some shit that he does, like they do with Link that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck do you even do that shit?
yeah,
Fucking starts like using the Master Sword like the real fucking Link and shit.
no. Fox was usually my go-to character in Melee, also.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. I guess should I move on to my list then?
Yes.
Okay, so I had to swap out some of them because you all named some. So yeah, originally my number 5 was Ocarina of Time, so I
Okay.
swapped it so we could talk about a different game. All right, so for the most part, my list is not in particular order. I tried to pick different games from different consoles, but yeah, 2 of them are going to be in the same console. Oh well. Anyway, but yes, number 5,
Sorry.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Okay. All right. Good game.
And so, like, when people think Grand Theft Auto, this is the game they, like, think of. Because back
Yeah.
then, the original Grand Theft Autos were over the top, like, from, like, you were
Yeah.
looking down, like, at the ceiling, and so it was just a little guy, like, that would just walk around. And for the most part, you really would just drive around in, like, a car. Like, there was still, like,
Yeah.
a little bit of, like, gunplay, like, you could shoot and stuff. But for the most part, it really was about like driving and stealing the cars, hence the name Grand Theft Auto.
Hmm.
You know, it's the third one that added a story and like it was 3D and up the you name it. So yeah, I do think it was genre defying in that aspect. And just seeing a game in 3D with like all the with cars and people walking around like
Yeah.
that blew like my fucking mind, you know.
Hmm.
This made me go, this is the future of like games, you know. Like
Yeah.
right. Number 4. Let's bring it back to the Super Nintendo. My number 4, I gotta go with the classic. Super Mario World.
Hell yeah.
All right. Hater already talked about Sonic. Let's talk about Mario for a little bit. So, Super Mario World. All right. So, there's a few things that are really cool about this one. I mean, one, it's the game that helped solidify the Super Nintendo, you know, as this powerful new console. And 2, that's the one that gave us Yoshi. And we all admitted that Yoshi was our main character in Mario
Yoshi
Kart.
Gang.
Well, this is the game that introduced him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshi Gang right here, the Yoshi Squad. So, come on. This is the game that introduced Yoshi. And I remember the thing that like blew my mind was like in the original Nintendo, you know, the games were like in screens. So if you left the screen, you're like, oh, wait, I forgot to pick this up. Too bad. It refreshed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's gone now. And so what blew my mind, I remember when playing Super Mario World for the first time, was like my cousin jumped off the Yoshi and he climbed up like the beanstalk to go to the clouds. And then he's like, check this shit out. And when he climbed back down, Yoshi was still there.
Yeah.
Like as a little kid, like what the like it stayed there, you know. It didn't refresh, you know. Like so yeah, crazy shit. But so that's my number 4.
I always when I would play, because I never owned a Super Nintendo, but when I played Super Mario, I remember one of my first thoughts when I saw the map was like, holy shit, you could choose like different paths. And then like when I finally like was able to like play it completely, I was like, fuck these paths, they only like have one level. Like it's not really like choosing your own fucking little adventure. But like for the longest time as a kid, I was like, oh shit, this is fucking game changing. Fucking Sonic can't do this
Well,
shit.
there were alternate. Yeah, well, there were alternate paths. It's because it was from like because the third one, Super Mario Bros. 3, that one also had that like level select, but for the most part, it was also like pretty linear. It was just in like the first world where if you didn't want to do level 3 because it was really hard, you could just skip to level 4. So that was pretty cool. But you could only do that in certain parts. The rest of them, it's like, no, you gotta do them, dude. But yeah, good shit. All right, number 3. All right, this one's on the Game Boy. Game Boy Color, if you want to be specific.
Okay.
And my number 3 is Pokemon Crystal.
Oh, nice.
The reason it's that one is specifically is because so my brother had the Game Boy, so he had Pokemon, and I could play it, but the thing is, the Game Boy would only allow one save file. So because the games were his and the Game Boy was his, I really couldn't do my own file. I could only play like from where he left off. And I wasn't really allowed to continue the story because he was playing it. So I could only like fight like the random Pokemon and level up his stuff. And likewise, I had to use his Pokemon. I couldn't like pick any or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until Pokemon Crystal came out on the Game Boy Color where that one was mine. So in that one, I had full control over it. I, could have my own save file, my own Pokemon, you name it. So that's the one that I have like the most like emotional like attachment to, because that's the one I played the shit out of, because that was like, this is my save file, this was me playing it. And that one was just so cool, especially seeing the jump from like the original Pokemon, which was good. But in this one, like, the character models were better. It was in color. The 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 guy, like the protagonist, like his watch, it had like a cell phone in it, and you could like call other characters in the game and stuff. Like it was just
Calmate,
cool,
James
and
Bond.
it's portable, huh?
Calmate, James Bond.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's a 10-year-old James Bond, and he's not even taking down like governments or other spies. He's freaking fighting other people with Pokemon. That's all he's doing. Calling his mom, like, "Mom, I need $5." But yeah, like I thought that one was like was really cool, and yeah, and again, it's just more for the emotional thing, like that. This was my first Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I'm specifically putting that one as opposed to like red or silver or gold.
And you know what? I didn't think
Uh,
about like the handheld consoles. Like now that I think about it, yeah,
Yeah,
like
me
a lot
neither.
of good fucking games. Um, definitely Pokemon. I don't remember.
No,
I believe I got like the one of the first generations, which was like either red or blue. I don't remember which one.
yeah, it was red and blue.
I played the shit out of one of those. And then I got the original Game Boy. I didn't get the color. I jumped straight to the what was it, Game Boy Advance?
Advance. Yeah,
Advance, yeah, that one.
yeah, it was the
And then I
Advance.
got my PSP, which I still fucking remember that someone stole it from me because I used to take it
You
to high
told
school.
me that. Yeah,
And
you
someone
told me
stole
that
my
someone stole it.
fucking PSP, and I hope he's in fucking hell right now. Um, Along with
He's in hell playing
Superman
Superman
64
64
development.
along with the devil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like the handheld consoles, they were the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I didn't even think about Pokemon until Juan mentioned it, but I played the shit out of my Pokemon Blue, and then someone stole it when I was in elementary. I had my fucking Blastoise level 99, and like it could one shot anyone, y nada. Fucking like I was just showing it off, and boom,
Yeah.
someone stole it.
Fuckers, dude. Fuckers.
Yeah.
Everyone, I think everyone has a story of like where they stole either a game, fucking console or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, with
It was
me,
probably
I
the
guess,
same guy that
too.
stole the PSP.
Right?
Right.
You went around stealing like everyone's shit.
No, with me, the fucking guy, he stole my Conker's Bad Fur Day, my copy of it.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, cause no, we agreed like, hey, I'll lend you a game, you lend me one. So I loaned him Conqueror, and he loaned me Banjo Kazooie. But what this asshole didn't tell me is that his copy of Banjo Kazooie didn't even fucking work.
oh,
So it didn't work, and so at school I tell him like, hey, like it doesn't work, and he's like, oh shit, like my bad, dude, I forgot. Yeah, like it doesn't work. What do you mean you forgot? It doesn't fucking work. And he's like, no, dude, pues he's like, pues I'm like, dude, I want my fucking game back. And he's like, no, dude, I'll get you your game back. Like, don't worry. I shit you not. This fucker moved to a different town.
he had a whole plan.
What the fuck? And he kept it. Dude, like, motherfucker. So, like, hey, asshole, yeah, you. I still remember your fucking name.
He's one of our followers.
Like, yeah, it's like one of our followers. It's like, I want my game back, asshole. If you get me Retro Replay, I'll forgive you. But I don't have an Xbox, so if you get me Retro Replay, fuck you. All right, enough venting.
Yeah, so you were mentioning Pokemon games. Just shout out to Pokemon Stadium on the 64.
Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, dude, that was
yeah.
fucking badass.
Yeah,
The mini games,
I
dude.
remember
Yeah.
a friend of mine recently had a kid, and I was like, well, fuck it, I don't play the 64 all that much, and he didn't have a 64, so I was like, here, like fucking have it for your kid, and the kid to this day is playing fucking Pokemon Stadium, and I was like,
It's the
yep,
shit, dude.
I
That
remember
game
that childhood.
is the shit.
That was fucking
Oh
dope.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
they're
no,
doing
the
a
mini
port for the Switch or something like that. No.
Yeah, they said they
Yeah.
were gonna bring if you get the Nintendo Online thing, you can get the 64 games. And yeah, they were gonna bring both of them. I think 1 and 2.
Nice.
Yeah, Stadium 1 and 2.
Yep. Yeah,
Which
but
I
no,
never played part 2.
Yeah,
I
me
never
neither.
played part 2.
I
I
played
only
it.
played part 1.
No, I played both.
I love the
had
mini
both,
games.
actually, yeah. No,
Mhm.
the mini games in 2 were still cool, but yeah, like the ones in 1 are a lot more memorable. Um, I don't really remember that many mini games from like 2, other than there's one where you're playing as like Furret, and it's like you have to like get like the balls back into your side or something like that. That's like the only mini game I remember from the second one. No, the mini game from the first one that can just fuck right off
Yeah.
is the one where you're playing as Clefairy and you have to copy the
Dude, I
teacher's
love
moves.
that one.
Fuck that
Yeah.
mini game.
Dude,
Like,
that
I
was
like that one
fucking
too.
badass.
Like look, the first 3 rounds are cool, but then by round 4, what the fuck? 8-year-old me cannot remember 10 fucking moves in 5 seconds.
No, that's not the game's fault,
Dude,
though. That's on you, buddy.
Nah, fuck that.
that just shows you if you have Alzheimer's or not.
But yeah,
What other
Pokemon
mini
Stadium.
games did it
That's
have?
not on my list, but there was the Magikarp one where you're just jumping and hitting the
Oh
button.
yeah, yeah. I
There was
hated
the
that
one where
one.
you're the
I fucking hated
Lickitungs
that one.
eating the
The
eating
Lickitungs,
the
yeah.
food
Yeah,
and
that
like
was
the
cool.
sushi thing.
Mhm.
There was this one where you're like drowsies and you're pushing like a ball, like trying to hypnotize the other ones, and if you fall asleep, you lose. And then yeah, the Clefairy one. I
The
don't
thing I remember
what
from
other...
Stadium that I liked doing was hooking it up to the Game Boy. I love doing that.
Yeah,
shit.
you could
And
transfer your
playing, like,
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm Yeah, you would see your Pokemon
like, by
in
that-
3D, so that was cool.
by that time, like my Game Boy cartridge had already been stolen, so like I was like trying
Oh.
to grind. I never ended up hitting level
Oh, so
99 again in any of the fucking Pokemon games.
So for the mini games, you had
What were you saying right
the Ditto game, the Ditto mini game,
Oh, that's right.
which is
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was like a whack-a-mole. The Pikachu game that you have to
Okay,
charge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're like on a
Then-
wheel or on a treadmill or something, right?
Yeah.
Or no, you're
I don't
Rattatas
remember
in that one. You're like the rats, and you're on like treadmills.
Oh,
or
that's
something.
that's for the rats. Yeah, no, for Pikachu, I don't
that's
remember
right, that's right.
what you had to do, but you were getting like electrocuted.
Okay.
Trying to find other ones. Oh, the I don't remember the name of this fucking Pokemon. Kakuna or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
where
had to
it's
harden.
Kakunas and Metapods, and like they're throwing shit at you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's other ones, but I think those are from the second one. I don't know. Like in my mind, there were like at least 20 games in my mind, but I haven't played it like, in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like all of those like little mini games and like fucking Mario Party with their mini games. Like I fucking loved playing like mini games in general in the
Yeah.
64.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mario Party had a shitload of like really good ones. And if you
Yeah.
look at them, they're kind of like similar to the Pokemon Stadium ones. but instead of like
Mhm.
Pikachu, it's like Mario and shit.
Mhm. Well, I mean that's the thing, and I like thought about this because I went to La Feria to the fucking carnival like a week ago, and I took my nephews.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and then over there they used to like charge whatever. Like if you went to a game, they would charge you for the game. But now they do like a pass, so you pay
Yeah.
200 pesos, and then you can get in all the
Yeah.
games you want. Uh, and they got like in 10 of them, and I was like, dude, it's basically the same game, it's just going around. The same game, it just changes that now it's a fucking chip,
Yeah.
and now it's a car, and now it's like a flying cup or whatever. And I'm like, dude, and when you're a kid, you don't care, you don't give a shit. It's the same game. So it's the same with the fucking
Yeah.
mini games. Mario Party, Pokemon Stadium, it's the same shit. But when you were a kid, you were like, oh no, it's different. Like this
It's
is
the
the
same
shit. This is
shit.
something new.
Yeah.
But it's the same shit.
Same shit, different skin.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But like side tangent, the feria's fucking awesome, dude. That's where I get like all my fucking conchas
Yes.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's
Now,
that's
That's
Did
where I
you
would
buy
get
a
my
concha
my,
when
my,
you
my
went?
fucking Dragon Ball figurines. Because over there, like, they don't give a shit about
Yeah.
licenses or whatever. So they will sell you
Yeah.
like the figurines. They will sell you the shirts. That was badass.
Yeah, I had a wallet with Goku on it that I
Yeah.
got at the Fedia, and they had like the two outfits, like the original like blue outfit, and then the one with like the orange gi that he wears
The orange.
when he trains with Roshi. You would also get like those wrestler toys that are always like this, like one hand up here,
Yeah.
the other one down here.
Yeah. With the ring.
With the ring.
Yeah, with like a
Yeah.
ring.
The
Mhm,
wooden
made of
ring.
wood with rubber bands. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's a separate topic for.
All right.
There was one.
All right,
There was one year. There was one year in the feria that I ended up buying a Digimon toy, and like by the time I got to the car,
Really?
like I was gonna start like it was a Digimon like Digivolution like thing. Like you would like flip the head and like make the other fucking Monio. I get to the car. I try doing it. It falls apart on me.
Oh no.
Like it didn't even.
I mean,
ask
that
what
was the
fucking
thing with
Digivolution,
the
and I'm
fucking
like,
toys at
"Fuck
La
this."
Feria. Like you were taking a
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like it'll either survive
Marca Patito, man.
the trip.
Mhm. Or your parents like get you a figurine and then you see Goku and he looks
Yeah.
like there's something wrong with him.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's got one eye up here for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, so Goku has he's addicted to cocaine.
Oh, no.
Shit, it froze.
It froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just say like you look at the fucking figurine and you're like, oh, so I guess Goku got addicted to cocaine.
It's the Ultra Instinct, Ultra Cocaine Goku.
It. It's like Ultra. No, he's just coked out. It's like I may be out of key, but I'm not out of options.
Instead of Kaiocaine, it was cocaine.
Yep, that one wins. All right, maybe I should move on to my number 2.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2. Let's go to the GameCube. My number 2 is Resident Evil 4.
Mm.
So, I never really got into Resident Evil as a kid because I didn't like the tank controls. And I remember I was in like middle school with another guy. It was in gym class. And he was a big fan of the Resident Evil games. And I told him, like, you know, like, I like the story and horror, but I just don't like the controls and stuff. And he's like, oh, you should play part 4. Why? And he's like, because in that one, like you can actually like move the guy, like the camera's behind him. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, and you can actually like aim the gun. You can aim the gun. And so I went to our video game rental store, the local one, not a chain. It was called Nintendo Mart for any Eagle Pass people watching. And I rented it, and I fell in love with it so much that when I returned it after like the 5 days that you get when you rent it, I bought it. It's like I returned it, and then I went, "Hey, can I have that? Can I have that one?" So I bought it, and then I played the shit out of it for like a week, and I'm like, "This is probably like one of the best games I have ever played."
Yeah, so that's a freaking awesome game, and I'm the same. Like I've never got into the Resident Evil, but I played that one, and that was the shit. Like that game was fucking good.
Yeah, it's so good. They're remaking.
I was a fan of the Resident Evil ones. Yeah.
Yep.
I still don't think they should be remaking it this soon, but I was a fan of Resident Evil 4. But I've been a fan of all of them except for like, I think it was like one of them that took place in a fucking zoo. The zoo one kind of sucked. I think it was called like Resident Evil Survivor or some shit like that.
Okay. Is that the one where like it's in first person?
No. No, the first person is like Resident Evil like 7.
No, there's an older one where it's in first person, and I thought it was that one, Resident Evil Survive. But no, that's a different topic. It's like you're saying it's too soon to be remade. Fool, this game came out in 2005.
Yeah, dude.
But like, it still looks good. It still looks good, and like the reason why I don't think it should be remade right now is because there's other Resident Evil games that should be remade. Like fucking Resident Evil Code Veronica. That one hasn't been fucking remade like ever.
Okay, yeah,
that one's fucking. Well,
this one hasn't been remade either. it's about to be,
but like they released it. They released it in the PS2. They released it in the Xbox. They released it in the fucking GameCube. They released it in the fucking Xbox One. They released it in the fucking PS4. Like, there's so many re-releases to Resident Evil 4. But fucking look at Code Veronica. I think they just did it once and that's it.
Well, no.
And that's a fucking shame.
But yeah, no, I'll give you credit. Code Veronica is cool. And then, yeah, that one's from... the original one came out in the year 2000. Because they re-released this one, too, on... Yeah, it was on PS2. Yeah, so it did get re-released. Yeah,
just like once or twice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, once.
Point is, they should remake. They should remake fucking Code Veronica.
Yeah, you're right. After part 4, though, because that one comes out next year.
Now, since you had the GameCube version, did you ever like unlock that alien gun? I think they had like when they re-released it for the GameCube, they had like a special gun, and it was that one.
Well, the GameCube was the original one for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
and then they released it on PlayStation 2, and PS2 had like extra stuff added on. It had different costumes, new guns. So maybe the gun you're talking about was in the PS2 version. Because I don't remember.
It might have been in the PS2 or the Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, because no, with every re-release they added stuff, and I think they said like the version that came out on the Wii is like the like superior version of the game. So if any old school people want to play it and you got a Wii, play it there. Apparently that's like the best version of it. But no, I never got the alien gun. Likewise, I never got to play the Ada levels because that was added after the fact. But yes, Resident Evil 4, great game. All right, let me move on to my number 1 so we can wrap up because it's getting kind of late. I don't know if Rene's still with us because his picture died on mine. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. My number 1, and again, It's repeat console, going back to the PS2. This is actually the game that might have actually been on Jose's list. Because I remember we talked about this in theater, and he said that he was a big fan of this game. Likewise, so am I, hence why I'm putting it on my number one. And that is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are fans of Metal Gear or not.
I
I
played
I'm a fan of the
that one,
story,
and
but
I
I never
played.
got into the gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
What would you say
there are
about
some
it?
games, but I didn't play it when I was like a child. I played it when I was old.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
it awesome games, but I don't have like really good memories of them.
Like,
Um,
got it. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
all right, so yeah, no, Metal Gear Solid 3 is just it's a great game. Like the story's great, the gameplay's great. It man, like there's just so much that was so cool about this game, and then it was also like revolutionary, like for its time. Like a lot of the stuff that they did, they played around with. You know, like Hideo Kojima, the guy that made these games, like he is just
yeah.
like a genius. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and um, one thing that like these games are known for is they always have really cool like boss fights. Like any list you pull up of like greatest boss fights like in video games, there's always a Metal Gear one from across the franchise because like that's one thing that uh they did so clever about these. And one of the more famous ones in this one, well there's two famous ones, is there's a boss fight against like this old guy and he's like a sniper. And the thing that's interesting about him is that it's not like a straight up fight. You really do have to like try to sneak around, otherwise you're gonna get shot by the sniper rifle and stuff. But one of the interesting things about it is that because he's like an old man, what one of the ways you could beat him is you could turn the game off and then not play it for a week because the PS2 had a clock, an internal clock. So if you don't play the game for a week and then you reload the save file, when you come back, the old guy's dead. He died of old age.
Oh shit.
So like that was pretty cool. Like you could skip that whole fight, and you didn't have to wait a week. You could just turn the game off, go into the game, and then just move the clock a week forward.
Yeah,
And then yeah, when you loaded it, yeah, he was dead. um, and then the other boss fight that was really famous with this one is that um for those that aren't really familiar with it, it is a stealth game. Like the plot is
yeah,
you are sneaking into like a Russian base in the middle of the Cold War because America believes that they have like nuclear weapons and stuff like that. So you're sneaking in there like by yourself, and because it's a stealth mission, like killing is like frowned upon. You can still kill people. It's just recommended you don't. Well, let's say you kill people because, you know, fuck it. Well, you're going to pay the price in this boss fight because this boss fight is against a ghost. And his fight isn't an actual fight. Instead, you're walking through like a river, and because the water is waist high, you're moving really slow. And he literally like just releases the spirits of all the people you've killed in the game. So the more people you've killed, the longer the fight.
yeah,
And you're supposed to avoid the ghosts because if they touch you, you lose health. So this is the game's way of like punishing you for
yeah.
killing, and it does keep track of every single person, animal you've killed. And
Jesus
so if
Christ.
you don't kill anybody, it is the easiest part in the whole game. However, if you went on a murder spree, oh my god, you're going to be there for a while, and it is going to be the most difficult thing because you have to avoid all these ghosts moving very slow, and then when you get to the end, you die. And like legit, you're dead. It says game over, like that's it. You're like, what the fuck? And you hit continue, and you have to do it again. And this is one of those where you either had to look it up online or you had to know somebody to know how to beat that part, because it's like,
Yeah.
why is it when I get to the end, I keep dying? Like, what do I have to do? Well, when you start the game at the very beginning, one of the things they tell you is that they took out like one of his like teeth and they put like a fake death pill. So if you get caught, you can take the pill and he'll die. And the guards will be like, oh, he's dead. Oh, and they'll leave you alone. And then you take a revival pill that'll bring you back up. So you can only stay dead for a little bit, otherwise you'll die for reals. But they tell you that at the very beginning of the game. So, yeah, what you're supposed to do in that part, when the ghost kills you, you're supposed to take the pill that revives you.
Mhm.
So, unless you remembered that,
Yeah, no, but you're fine.
or somebody told you, or you looked it up online, there's no way
Yeah.
in fucking hell like you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that that makes this game just so cool. And so I remember playing it like in middle school and just going like, oh my god, this is like what are the like this is just so cool. Like it just like just in terms of like gameplay, like it's just so
Yeah.
it's so awesome, you know.
Yeah, and that's,
I
and
do
that's the
highly
thing with the
recommend
series,
it.
like
This-
the Metal Gear series.
Mhm.
Just it's really one of those games that you stop and you're like, oh shit, that's brilliant. Like that's pretty fucking smart. That's
Mhm.
sometimes it's even like a new way of beating a level or a boss. So yeah, those games are
Yeah.
awesome.